Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of On the Mark. I'm your host, Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis, leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement, and host of this radio talk show that has been ongoing now for 2 decades. Thank you very much for all of you who have been with me for the past 2 decades. Those who are only new to the show, or newcomers, everybody's welcome. This show is rebroadcast here on Von Radio. It's broadcast here on Von Radio every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. 2 hours of live, commercial-free, primetime talk radio. We're the only show of our kind, and that's made possible through the kind sponsorship of the law firm of Daniel Brantley. They've been the sole sponsor of this show for the past 2 decades, and that allows us to be on air without interruption. It also allows you, the public, when you call in, to have a good run, enough time for you to make your points. And that is what we seek to do on this show. I want to thank, as always, my dear friend Weber Herbert and the entire team here at Von Radio for making this show possible. And I think that we have survived this long because we seek to engage in conversation which is uplifting, debate which is enlightening, and information which empowers. That is what we're trying to do here. And so you find that there is not the usual row and cussing that you find elsewhere. We try our very best to maintain the standards for which Von Radio is rightly famous, where only the best will do. This show is broadcast all around the world, but of course I must say goodnight to the people here in Nevis, those in St. Kitts, those in the wider Caribbean, especially our friends and family in places like Statia, Saba, Anguilla, St. Martin, USVI, BVI, and of course Father Field. I also want to say good evening to our friends in Montserrat. They listen quite dutifully, and those who are as far south as places like Guyana and Belize, who also listen to this show. To those students who are at University of West Indies, frankly, wherever you are, and you're tuned in. To our friends in the United States and Canada, those in the United Kingdom, we say good evening to you as well, and thank you for being part of this show, and welcome to another edition of On the Mark. I have quite a bit of ground to cover this evening, but I want to start by expressing my heartfelt condolences to the family of Leon Barry, who passed away and was buried yesterday. Mr. Barry, from the well-known Barry family there in Craddock Road, was a long-standing taxi driver here in Nevis, a man who was known by all, loved by all. Always what I loved about him was his sense of humor, and that we have lost him. I was given the opportunity of visiting with him at the hospital prior to his passing, and he still had the same impish smile. And so to his family, those who survive him, particularly his children, his brothers and sisters, of course, and all his family members, I would want to extend my deepest condolences to them and to let them know that our prayers continue to be with them in their hour of bereavement and their time of difficulty. Please know that the people of Nevis continue, despite our differences sometimes, to be kind, and we continue to pray for each other. We continue to be there for each other. And so we hope and pray that you will find comfort in that and in the lasting memories of Mr. Barry, who served Nevis well in terms of his taxiing and in terms of his presence. I don't think that in Charlestown, by the taxi stand there in town, that it will be the same without Barry, without his jokes, without his jovial nature, and without that impish smile. And so we say farewell to him, and we express our condolences to the family. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, as I said, quite a bit to cover. I would, of course, want to start by expressing condolences to all those who have lost loved ones, expressing well wishes to those who might be going through some kind of struggle at this point in time, and certainly to express congratulations to all those who celebrate, and including all of the students who are graduating all across the various schools in Nevis. Primary schools have gone with their graduations. We expect the high schools to come next, and we express our congratulations to them, to teachers, staff, parents. Proud moment for lots of families, and we are so proud that children are moving on to the next level of their lives and the next level of their future. And so we say congratulations to all. If you're celebrating a birthday, you're having a good time, congratulations. Belated birthday greetings to the famous twins in Brownhill, Jean and Jilly on the hill. I want to express my fond regards to them. They're beautiful people there. Famous Walwyn Tyson clan. Jean and Jilly, if you're listening, belated happy birthday to you both. I trust and hope you had a wonderful day. I know for sure that I saw Jilly, and she looked sparkling. I saw her at a memorial service for Billy Cueto at the Four Seasons, and I had to ask if she was already at the Mango Festival, simply because she was dressed in a beautiful orange outfit. And so, Jill, if you're listening, Jean, if you're listening, happy belated birthday, and happy birthday indeed to all who are celebrating. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 6 minutes past the hour. At the top of the show, I've decided to welcome again somebody who is not a stranger to the show, who has used this show as a platform each year during Culturama to release his music. And I speak of none other but Mr. Keith Scarborough, MBE, better known as King This and That. King, welcome back to the show.
Good evening, Mark, and good evening to all who are listening to BON at this time on the Mark program. And let me say right up front, Mark, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity once again to release my song to the general public, and I am looking forward to doing that tonight.
King, could you tell us a bit about the song that you want to release tonight?
Well, this one has to do with crime. As you are aware, we had some gun-related crimes earlier in the year. Well, but in June, actually, was the last death that we had, and that death inspired me, because I thought we were going along nicely. We are still going along nicely, but we had that one unfortunate death and a couple of shootings in between that didn't result in death. So I figured I would have penned this one, and it is called Help Me Pray.
Okay, so this is King This and That, Help Me Pray. I think we have it lined up. And this is the first time it's been heard publicly?
Yes.
So this is the big release of his second song for Culturama 51. King This and That, Help Me Pray.
Hear me now. This is a message to the nation. A very serious message. Sing about crime in this federation, how we destroying the nation, but like them youths not listening at all. Because the more we try to find a solution, the more youths we see gunned down, causing pain and suffering to all. It's like this young generation gone insane, or they drinking water messing with their brain. Cause this criminal behavior is affecting all of us, brother. All that's left for us to do now is hope and pray that them youths will put their guns away. So let me pray now. Father, we look to you for guidance, to bring peace and love to this land, in order to put an end to this ignorance. We need your divine intervention. Father, show us the way, the truth and light, to put them youths on the right path, so that night and day we could find a way to give them all a fresh start. But we just can't give up on them. We have to solve the problem. Father, show some mercy on this small nation. Please, please, touch them youths with your healing hand. Wake them up and show them a brighter future, Father, so we could live together. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Myself this question: where all them guns coming from, and how them youths are able to pay, and where the hell they get all this ammunition? Who is their real connection? Cause them youths don't walk no way. They're killing each other for malice and spite, committing murder in the broad fear of retribution. They don't care at all about right or wrong. That's why I go on my knees with me head in the air and take it to the good Lord in prayer. So help me pray now. Father, we look to you for guidance to bring peace and love to this land. In order to put an end to this ignorance, we need your divine intervention. Father, show us the way, the truth and light, to put them youths on the right path, so that night and day we could find a way to give them all a fresh start. For we just can't give up on them. We have to solve the problem. Father, show some mercy on this small nation. Please, please, touch them youths with your healing hand. Raise them up and show them a brighter future, Father, so we could live together. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Amen. Every time we think that crime has gone down, heading in the right direction, all of a sudden we get bad news. Another youth decides to cause confusion, because in his opinion he have no hope and nothing to lose. I have concluded that the only way is to go down on my knees and pray and hope the good Lord Almighty answer we pray real quickly, deliver us from evil and criminality, because vengeance and justice belongs to He, only He. Father, we look to you for guidance to bring peace and love to this land. In order to put an end to this ignorance, we need your divine intervention. Father, show us the way, the truth and light, to put them youths on the right path, so that night and day we could find a way to give them all a fresh start. For we just can't give up on them. We have to solve the problem. Father, show some mercy on this small nation. Please, please, touch them youths with your healing hand. Raise them up and show them a brighter future, Father, so we could live together. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Amen. A serious message to the entire nation. We have to look to the heavens to help the children in this nation.
That is King This and That with his second of two competition pieces, live and lively tonight on the Mark. This is a world premiere because this is the first time he is giving us a listen. And King, I should tell you that I was at one of our supermarkets 2 days ago, and someone said to me that the first song that you released here, they heard it here for the first time. They heard it the night when it was released, and they thought it was excellent. So this is the second song. Of course, we can't mark our own paper, so it will be for the public to decide whether or not this material that you're hearing from King This and That, Mr. Keith Scarborough, MBE, who has been doing this now for 5 decades, 50 years he has been doing this, and I believe he said to me that he has been at every Culturama except one. He has been there for every single Culturama. This year we celebrate 51 years of Culturama, and he has done 50 years of competing in the Calypso show. I think that that alone warrants Mr. Scarborough's name being etched in the annals of history. A lot of people talk about their contribution, but this is visible, tangible, and this is undeniable in terms of that contribution, that stick-to-itiveness that he has demonstrated. Win, lose, or draw, he has been there year after year. I've seen people who feel they get a hard decision by the judges and decide they're done with it. I've seen others who hop in and hop out, come and go. I think Mr. Scarborough has been consistent, and the evidence is there to show. So, Mr. Scarborough, your second song, speaking to a topical issue, I did a little quick research since the song was being played, and I recognize you said that what prompted you to pen this song was the last homicide we had. I think, however, that we ought to be grateful that notwithstanding those tragic circumstances, the last homicide on the island of Nevis was the 11th of September 2024. So this month marks 10 months since we've had none of that activity on the island of Nevis. And I think that that is something we ought to be very grateful for. We have had a few homicides on St. Kitts, but certainly, as we are now here in July of 2025, we have had none of the upsurge that we have seen in past years. And so we are hopeful. I listened to some comments from the Royal St. Kitts Nevis Police Force recently. They were thanking the public, and I too thank the public, and I'm optimistic that we can continue on this path of a peaceful society. And so the song is timely because it is not for us to say, well, nothing has happened lately, so let us put down our hands. This type of messaging is still very, very important. And I think that for me, what resonates is the fact that we continue to see our creatives, like yourself, using Calypso to deliver important messages. Some like me who can't sing, we make speeches. But others who can sing deliver the message in song. Those who can do poetry will deliver it in spoken word. However you deliver it, the messaging is critical, and I think that this is what this song achieves. So, King, I don't know if you have any words for us, but thank you very much for that.
I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity again, and hope that the general public likes it. I mean, the music festival is out the way, Mango Festival is out the way. It is now all eyes on Culturama 51.
Good. That is, ladies and gentlemen, King This and That, Mr. Keith Scarborough, MB. King, thanks again for being with us, and thanks for choosing On The Mark to release your second competition piece for Culturama 51.
Thank you.
Mr. Scarborough will take his leave, and we will get into a few other matters, but I continue to be grateful to him and to some of the other Calypsonians and creatives who choose this platform to release their music, to release their song. I think they recognize that it's a platform that reaches a lot of people, and so they use it, and I am pleased to provide that opportunity for our creatives. King This and That, his second piece. I'm sure that you out there who heard it will, when the phones open, call in and be a part of it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me get into some other matters. I wanted to speak to you about the Nevis Mango Festival. We would have had that Mango Festival, which occurred over the weekend, the past weekend. I was trying to get some statistics this evening, but regrettably, I wasn't able to get all the information that I needed in time for the show. But what I can tell you is that in terms of persons at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, the preliminary number that I've had from the Nevis Tourism Authority is that this year we had 4,173 persons compared to 2,536 persons last year, for an increase of a whopping 65% in terms of attendance, or presence, I should say, at the MGR Park. We are going through the post-mortem. I know that the Nevis Tourism Authority would have convened today, and I anticipate that we will have an opportunity to look at where there are areas that need to be tightened up and made better. But I think in large measure the reviews have been excellent, and that people seem to have come out, seem to have had a good time. I did hear some people while I walked the grounds and interacted say that they could not get tickets for food at that late stage. One lady complains that she had come from St. Kitts with family, and they had decided last minute to come And I did apologize to her, but part of the problem was that tickets have been on sale since April. And the difficulties for many who left it until the very last minute, we had run out, because from past experience we know that we cannot simply continue to sell tickets. We have to be mindful of the number of patrons and match that to the number of chefs and the amount of food that is available, bearing in mind that it is a food festival. We also had the concert, which featured local acts as we did last year, and I believe all in all things went well. There was a VIP section which this year was curated by Carambola out of St. Kitts, and that too appeared to have gone very well. For those who had hiccups or difficulties, we certainly apologize and let you know that we will continue to work to deliver first-class, world-class event, and that this event, which is already becoming a bucket list event in the Caribbean, will continue to grow from strength to strength. But any event you have in Nevis where you have over 4,000 people there is a massive event. We want to thank, of course, all of those who traveled in from overseas, Nevisians who came home, tourists who came in to visit, but also, of course, our brothers and sisters from St. Kitts, many of whom I saw and had a chance to interact with, who support this Mango Festival every year. We also commend the people of Nevis who came out, and I can't say enough about the people at the Nevis Tourism Authority. Mr. Fayon Jones, who's the acting CEO, Mr. Noah Mills, who participated as a consultant, the entire board, but most of all for me, the staff, who worked tirelessly to bring this festival again successfully to the people of Nevis and the wider St. Kitts and Nevis and the region and the world. And so I say thank you to all, congratulations to all. No doubt when the phones open, we're going to get your feedback and get your views and opinions on the music festival and what's happening. Now, let me move on to a few other matters before I open the lines. Today I had the distinct pleasure of visiting at the Nevis Disaster Management headquarters there in Long Point, where the World Academy of Safety and Health, World Academy of Safety and Health, or WASH, were having an event there, which is the 4th event of its kind. And what is that event? It's a training event. And let me just give context. I keep saying that a lot of things that this government has been doing and has been doing successfully, that those things are not being trumpeted enough. Those things aren't being discussed enough. Those things aren't being disseminated enough. When bad things happen, we don't need to disseminate them because the opposition jumps on them quickly. In fact, when no bad things are happening, the opposition usually makes up something to say. And so when good things are happening, it behooves us in government to continue to talk about those things so that our people can hear and understand. Now I want you to listen to me for a minute on this matter. The biggest disaster that we've had in our modern history was the sinking of the Christina passenger ferry, MV Christina. That happened on the 1st of August 1970. As it crossed from St. Kitts to Nevis, it sank, and well over 200 souls perished, the majority of whom were Nevisians. It is said that hardly a single family in Nevis remained untouched, and many of us carry the scars of that time. One of the aspects of psychological and emotional trauma that resulted was that our people developed a fear and some level of trepidation in relation to the sea. It is said that many who perished that day could not swim. When I tell this story to people who are not island people, they express great shock that people who live on an island surrounded by water cannot swim. But the truth is that that has been the lived reality of many in Nevis. And Christina and the loss of life in Christina really exacerbated that problem, where many are fearful of the ocean. Many, therefore, do not learn how to swim. And I know as a young boy in Handlers Road, I was born just a year, well, not even a year, but several months prior to the Christina disaster. Indeed, what am I saying? I was a year old, just a year and a bit, when the Christina disaster tragedy happened. And I recall as a youngster, as I became 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and on, my mother used to insist that I stay away from the beach. She said that if you went to the sea, something bad would happen. And we know sometimes here on Good Friday or Easter Monday, when people went to the beach, we've had tragedies that have occurred at the beach where we have lost loved ones. And so there was a sense on the island that we stayed away from the water, which is counterintuitive, because island people surrounded by ocean should know how to swim. We should not have a fear of the ocean. We should know how to handle the ocean. That tragedy was in 1970. 50 years later, in 2020, the Nevis Island Administration, as part of the remembrance, which we do every year, but I recall that we had a special sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly, where different individuals were invited to speak, including past prime ministers, past premiers, as the case may be. And out of all of that, I, as the leader of Nevis, met with my cabinet and said, what can we do? What can we introduce? What can we do to use that tragedy that was the Christina disaster and seek to change behavior, change patterns, and teach our people, particularly our youth, how to swim? I want to pay respects here to the Honorable Eric Evelyn. He is the one through whose ministry we started this program. And I want to pay respects to the Honorable Troy Liburd, who has continued that effort, and their teams, carrying out the mandate from the cabinet that we must teach our people how to swim. We must get rid of this fear of the ocean and inculcate in our people the ability to swim and to develop skills that they could save lives, save their own life, but also assist others in distress in the water. And so that is why we developed a relationship with the World Academy of Safety and Health. Now, why is WASH, the World Academy of Safety and Health, important? Is because they're able to train and certify individuals. They started out 4 years ago in Nevis with only 9 participants. They're now in their 4th year. They come twice a year, in July, and I'm told again in October. And they're training persons delivering CPR, first aid, AED, lifeguard, and water rescue. And I believe that the people of Nevis should be proud to know that through that partnership between the Nevis Island Administration and the World Academy of Safety and Health, or WASH, we are attracting now persons coming for training from Antigua and Barbuda, from St. Lucia, and from St. Vincent. The St. Vincent Coast Guard has come, and they, WASH, have decided that Nevis will be the center for their training activities in this part of the Caribbean. I say that because these people come in, they do their training, they certify individuals here, St. Kitts, and now we're here in Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. And many of us here on the island may not know or understand how it came about, or in fact that it's even happening. To move from 9 participants 4 years ago to over 200 participants, it tells you that the program is growing and growing. I want to say something further, that this program is an outgrowth of the original program that we started to teach our school children how to swim. I want to go on record to thank Ms. Terry Andrews, because she has been quite selfless in involving herself in this effort. I want to thank those youngsters those administrators at the Department of Youth and Sports who have been intricately involved, those in the Ministry of Education and the Department of Education who have been intricately involved in delivering swimming lessons to our youngsters. More than that, ladies and gentlemen, what started out as an effort to teach our youth how to swim has actually, in some aspects, led to the renewed interest and development of a competitive swimming spirit right here on the island of Nevis. We hear about youngsters now. Troy Nisbet, made famous because he went off to represent us at the Olympics. We hear of other youngsters. Skylar Connor is a name that comes to mind, and yet others who are swimming and wearing the flag of St. Kitts and Nevis and carrying the spirit of the island of Nevis into international competitions. Where have these children been swimming? In our ocean, because we do not yet have a pool that they can use competitively. But I have committed publicly that that pool will come. And just this morning I had a conversation where we're looking for partnership to deliver that pool for the youngsters of Nevis. But I say that to say that because the government had the vision of seeking to have some good come from the terrible tragedy that was Christina, which this year would, I believe, have been 55 years ago, that because of that, we developed this swim program. That swim program has now spawned competitive swimmers who are representing us internationally. And it has also now spawned WASH, which is coming here. Again, let me just tell you, WASH is the World Academy of Safety and Health. And WASH is now coming, bringing instructors and training. So all the boat captains for Blue Wave and Islander and the water taxis, the boat captains for the various ferries that ply their trade out of Charlestown, all of these individuals can now access certification right here on Nevis. And other islands, as I mentioned, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Antigua and Barbuda, are sending their people to us to be trained. That, I think, is important. That WASH is now here, and Nevis is now its center of activities in the country. So, we have been targeting, of course, members of the government, NIA, various ministries, departments, Long Point Port staff, NASPA staff, disaster management staff, the various swim programs that are happening. Their members come to the training as well. We want to thank the Four Seasons Resort for their partnership. We've had the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force, the Coast Guard, Customs, Fire Services. All of these have benefited from training. And that is why we feel that this initiative is such an important initiative. And we want to say to our people of Nevis that a lot of things that government does may not attract the attention that they deserve, that many things aren't up in lights as they should be, but that these policies and these partnerships are having impact where it matters most on our people. So this morning, when I spoke to the group assembled at the Disaster Management Authority headquarters in Long Point, I made the point that the lessons that they're learning from WASH, the certification that they will receive, especially in an environment and in a geographic location where every year starting on June 1st we have hurricanes. An environment now where people are moving back and forth with increasing frequency between St. Kitts and Nevis. In fact, as I pick up my phone here, I'm picking up my phone to share with you that for the music festival weekend alone, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had some 13,762 passenger crossings from Nevis to St. Kitts and back. 8,076 persons used the Wally water taxi facility, and 5,686 used the Charlestown ferry facility. This does not include the ferry taxis, the Sea Bridge and I-Connect. 13,762 passengers between Orly and Charlestown for the music festival weekend. So, doesn't include I-Connect and Sea Bridge, which were also full. It therefore tells you that more and more people are moving via the ocean. We, however, recognize that accidents can happen, mishaps, and so the more people that can swim, the more people that understand CPR, the more people that understand water rescue, the better it is for our community generally. And the message that I imparted to those assembled today was that the skill sets, the certification that they're getting from this partnership with WASH and the NIA will allow them to take those skill sets into their communities. The life that they save might be their own. It might be their brother or their sister. It might be their parent or other loved one. Or it might be a neighbor or somebody else in our community. It might be a visitor to the island who's at Pinnis Beach and finds himself in difficulty. And because we have exposed our population to training, water rescue, CPR, first aid, that we can assist. We are told by our medical professionals that the first few minutes are critical in many medical crises to save lives. And this is a partnership, ladies and gentlemen, that we have gone about quietly, but which has been impacting persons year after year. Now in its fourth year, and now reaching over 200 participants from St. Kitts, Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and of course right here at home on the island of Nevis. I believe that that deserves some commendation in terms of that continuing effort, and we pledge to continue those efforts to impact lives, to have policies that impact people. We hear a lot of talk about sustainable development, but there is no sustainability unless our people are at the epicenter of what we do. And that for me is a guiding principle. As the leader of the CCM party, we say people matter most. And we have demonstrated through policy prescriptions, through the way that we've managed this island, through the efforts that are being made, through the plans and programs that have been implemented, that our people are at the epicenter of what we do. Let me move on from that, but stick with the theme of people. We have recently announced that Shalicia Glassford, a young Nevisian woman who is a tourism professional, has joined our team at the Nevis Tourism Authority as the head of VIP and MICE. MICE has to do with conferences and exhibitions and that kind of thing, MICE. And so she has come on board to be a part of what we're doing at the Nevis Tourism Authority, and to act as the director to coordinate those efforts with VIP guests, with small groups, etc. Now, why do I mention Shalicia? I mention Miss Glassford because she's a daughter of the soil, one. Two, she's highly trained as a tourism professional. She got training in various places, including in Switzerland. Three, she has worked in the hospitality industry. In fact, her last substantive post, if I recall, was that she worked at the Park Hyatt in Australia. And I mention her because her decision to take a role with the Nevis Tourism Authority is yet further evidence of this government's efforts to give our own people opportunity in their own country. I want to emphasize that, because here's a young woman who could be anywhere in the world. But I met with her and I said, Shalicia, I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you here. And she said, yes, this is where I want to be. But the government of the day, this CCM-led administration, has taken a position that wherever possible, we will give our young people an opportunity to be of service to their country. And so youngsters like Shalicia, youngsters like others who have gone away and equipped themselves and have decided to make the important decision to come back and give of their service to build this island, we are saying as government that we will do our best to accommodate them. We recognize it's not always possible. We recognize that we don't always have the jobs. But wherever possible, we are making that effort. And I recall, that our efforts in that regard, we elevated some young professionals to principal position in some of the schools. We have promoted young people. We have young people who are heading departments. We have put our youth in various positions where they can make decisions and assist us in moving the country forward. They can bring their energy and their experience and their training to bear. We have young doctors at our hospital. We have done all that. And we have heard the criticism from some quarters that the young people must stay in the back, that they must take a back seat, that what we're doing is wrong. We have elevated young people to the cabinet, where they are making decisions at the highest level. And that we think is important. And so, Ms. Glassford, thank God for you and others like you. Welcome home, welcome to the NTA, and we look forward to your contribution, just as we look forward to the contribution of so many young people who are deciding that Nevis, their Nevis, it's where they want to be. And having had their training, they've come home to contribute. Not everyone can contribute working from government, because government cannot employ everyone. But whether you're in government or you're in the private sector, you choose to start your own business, I say thank you. And this government will continue to do its best to create an environment where our young people can thrive. And that old notion that you're young so you must sit down, stay in the back, wait your turn, that is not the ethos of this CCM-led administration. I am here as the Premier of Nevis to say to you tonight that no young professional on this island will ever be told by me as Premier that they must go practice, learn how to drive. Because when they come home, they don't know what they're doing. Not once will you be told that. Those words cannot come from my lips. They would have come from other lips, but not mine. My message to our young people is there is space for you in Nevis. Come, join hands with us and help us to build this island. 36 square miles, 13,500 people. We need to do a lot better than that in terms of population if we're going to build this island and have a sustainable island state. Bermuda, which is my yardstick in recent years, 21 square miles, 65,000 people. We're 1.5 times bigger than Bermuda. They have 5 times our population. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. We need people. And whilst we welcome our brothers and sisters from all across the region and all across the world, we should also welcome Nevisians and Kititians who want to come home, who have studied, who have gained experience and want to contribute. We should never, as a society, vilify our own people, whether for politics or otherwise. We must always give our people a chance to contribute to the development of this island that we say we love. And so, Ms. Glassford, welcome, and we thank you, and we wish you success in your new role, because when you succeed, the island succeeds. And when every young person on this island succeeds, we as a community and as a society, we succeed. What we do today is not for us, people like me, because I am definitely headed to the departure lounge now. What we do today is for the next generation and the one after that. We are building a solid foundation so that this island can continue to prosper. That's what sustainability is. You cannot achieve sustainability if you have no confidence in your youth, if you have no confidence in your own people. Well, I'm here to say that I have confidence in our youth. I have confidence in our people. And I believe that Nevis, which is emerging as a rising star in the Caribbean, will become the best island to live, to work, to raise families that this region has ever seen. It's going to happen, mark my words. The signs are there. And it is only for us as Navisians to do the work, to have the stick-to-itiveness, to ensure that we get to where we're headed, which is the best island state anywhere on planet Earth. That's what we're seeking to do. But to do so, we need our people on board. And we need the energy, the training, the expertise of our youth, the creativity, in order to get to the next level. So I say that, and say that quite clearly, that we are proud of our young people and those who have come back and decide, listen, Nevis me born, Nevis me want to be, Nevis me gonna make me contribution. That's what we're seeking to achieve. And I'm hopeful that more people, even those older ones who seem to want to block young people and curse young people and attack young people, that they must realize that they too were once young. And those among them who have achieved something, achieved it because somebody gave them an opportunity when they were young. And those who are now old and have achieved nothing, well, who are they going to blame? Who are they going to blame? So don't take out your frustrations because you're now in the winter of your years and you look back and you realize that you've wasted your life on young people. No, that's unfair. Give the young people a chance. You had your chance. Give them an opportunity so that they now can rise. They now can contribute. And that is what this government that I'm proud and privileged to lead is all about. And so I say that, and I am very, very proud of that fact. I am almost done. I have one other matter to report. We have, under the leadership of the Honorable Eric Evelyn, indicated to our public time and time again that food security is a critical part of what we are seeking to do as government. That any island, any country who really wants to talk about sustainability must also find a way to feed its people. We know that the human body, the human being, requires certain things to live. One of those things is food. But what we have seen on the island of Nevis is an overdependence on imported food. It is shocking to say that in an island as fertile as we are, with abundant rainfall, fertile soil, that virtually all of our food continues to be imported. To the point where during the COVID-19 pandemic, as a cabinet, we were afraid that if for some reason the United States closed the port of Miami, that our people would not be able to get food. No island, no people should be in that position. And so as government, one of our biggest responses during COVID was to the agricultural sector. We wanted our people to grow more food. We distributed free shade houses to some of our farmers. We fenced farmlands for free. We plowed lands and gave free land preparation, free fertilizer, free seeds, free seedlings, free water to our farmers. During that period, we said, grow more food. Help us feed the island. Our fisher folk benefited during that period from free fish pot wire. Second rows were discounted by 50%. Catch more fish. Help us. And so we have been trying our very best, bearing in mind that we have limited resources, to incentivize, to encourage partnership with our farmers, with our fisher folk, with our crop farmers, to say to them, listen, we need to produce more food, more mutton, more beef, more chicken, more fish. We need to produce more food. And ladies and gentlemen, the progress has been slow. It has been difficult because there's still many who have not yet taken up the challenge of treating farming as a full-time commercial undertaking. But I'm pleased to say that we're seeing progress. And that there are many farmers, especially young farmers, who are getting involved. And I love when I go to the supermarket now and I see greens and leafy greens, lettuce, tomatoes, peppers that are all grown locally. I can mention a number of farmers. Mackie Truss A1 Farms, young Richard Paris, Paris Greens. We have young Anthony Gager. We have the young man here, oh dear, what's his surname now, but he's right here below Hosford's. He will forgive me. It will come back to me. But all of these youngsters, Danny Atherton, not so young, but still a veteran in the business, they're getting involved in greater food security. They're getting involved in more farming, more production. And we see others, my brother Banky, if he's listening. All of these are people who are getting involved in doing more in terms of food production. And we as government are saying that we also need to do more. It is not that we did something during COVID and we say, all right, we did that, and so we rest on our laurels. It's an ongoing process of engagement, and that has been the mandate that we have given to Minister Evelyn and his team. Listen, let us go out. PS Director, officers in the field, technical experts, let us encourage more production on the island of Nevis. And here are the benefits. One, the farmers earn $1, feed their families, the fishers. Two, our people get better quality food and vegetables because they're not grown with any chemicals or hormone injections and the like. We see an increasing incidence of non-communicable diseases here. Hypertension, diabetes, various forms of cancer. In fact, I read an alarming report about Grenada to say how the rate of cancer in Grenada had risen, especially breast cancer, in recent times. What's causing it? Could it possibly be the food? That all of these islands in the Caribbean and countries in the Caribbean have turned their backs on agriculture and have now been importing every week. The supermarket shelves are filled with pretty packages, but what's in them? What's the quality of food that we are imbibing? So quality of food we're giving to our children, we're seeing more problems in our children. Attention deficit disorder. Various issues with their growth and development. All of these things, it appears, have become more frequent occurrences. And we must ask the question, I don't know the answer, but we must ask the question, is it perhaps connected with what we eat? Because when I was a child, and the summertime came, when you leave your mother's house, there in Scarborough, soon as sun come up, you were gone. And you spent the whole day, what were you doing? You went and whoever had mango, you went to look mango, you went over Henley, you tried to get guavas, who have guinea if it's guinea season, soursop, sugar apple. We used to have something we call the ghoul, where you hide your sugar apple in a wall, cover it with straw. We used to sometimes, when your mother have a chicken outside, you run that chicken till the chicken fall down with exhaustion. That chicken became Sunday lunch or Sunday dinner. You went out in the field and you scrabbled 2 potatoes. For those young people who don't know what I mean, scrabble, gravel. It means simply that you dig up using your hands, or you get a stick and you find a sweet potato. You go, you have bananas on the tree, and the food was natural. The eggs you ate, it was the chickens there that laid the eggs. No hormones, no chemicals, natural food. That is where we are coming from. I was at a restaurant in New York some time ago, and the most expensive thing on the menu at that restaurant was something that they call free-range chicken. Free-range chicken. And I just had to chuckle to myself. I said to the people that were with me, I said, you know, what they're selling here at such an expensive price at this fancy restaurant as free-range chicken, at home that was called yard fowl. That was a chicken that was running around the yard. It was ranging free. No chemicals, no additives. But you know what happened in Nevis? When people started to get a payday, they tell you they're not eat yard fowl. They started to buy chicken at the supermarket. They said imported chicken that comes from Miami and wherever is better. And so we stop eating the local chicken and we start to eat the imported chicken. What is in it, God alone knows. Because I went someplace the other to buy a piece of chicken, and when I saw the size of the chicken leg, I said to myself, well, this chicken, you got to be 6 feet tall. The size of that chicken leg tells me that that was no normal chicken. How chicken get so big? Hormones, chemicals. We're talking about food that's genetically modified. That's what's pouring into the Caribbean. In fact, I learned the other day that even meats and chicken and vegetables, they have grades. Grade A, grade B, grade C, as the case may be. And we in the Caribbean are not getting grade A product. A lot of times what we get is what the developed world does not want. So we're getting low grade products coming here. All of these are incentives and reasons when we talk about sustainability to also talk about feeding ourselves. And if you're asking why is Mr. Brantley tonight talking about all of that, it's because today the Honorable Eric Evelyn reported that the long-awaited poultry production facility is now in sight. And that we expect that construction is going to start in earnest, not in a matter of months or weeks, but hopefully in a matter of days. And that is because we have decided to go with a Canadian company who's bringing in their personnel and expertise to build this facility for us. I want to thank the cabinet team. I want to thank the Honorable Eric Evelyn. I want to thank the Honorable Spencer Brand, who was instrumental in making the arrangements. Our legal advisor, Helen Lewis, who was instrumental in finalizing the contractual arrangements. And I also want to thank our dear friends, the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the Taiwanese ambassador, my brother, Ambassador Lin, because they helped in terms of the financing of this project. And so when the minister reported, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, today, that the project is due to start in earnest, I said, praise be to God. We're talking about construction, which is perhaps going to be 6 to 8 months. But what it would mean, that if all goes well, by very early in the new year, we should start to be able now to start to process local chicken at a central processing facility that will allow, one, new farmers coming into the arena producing chicken, and two, better quality chicken for our people to consume. Every pound of food that's produced locally means one less pound of food that we have to import. The savings in terms of foreign currency, our balance of trade, our local economy, as we empower our local farmers, who I hope will see these commercial opportunities and seize them, and the quality of food, and therefore the quality of health of our people, all are likely to benefit from these types of initiatives. I go back to what I said, that as government, we're seeking to make decisions that inure to the benefit of all of us, not just us who are here now, for those who are to come. That's what sustainability means. How do you ensure that this island prospers, not in the now only, but in the future as well? And so kudos to Minister Evelyn, Deputy Premier, and his entire team at the Ministry of Agriculture. When this facility is completed, it will be a giant leap forward for greater food security for the people of Nevis and our sister St. Kitts as well, because we anticipate that we should be able to send fresh chicken, organic chicken, free-range chicken to St. Kitts, to our restaurants, to our hotels, and by encouraging our people to buy local and eat local, we also encourage them to be more healthy and to eat food that they can trust, not food coming in pretty packages that we have no idea what has been put into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave it there and open the lines for your questions, comments, observations. I started the show with King This and That, and maybe you want to say something about Calypso. Culturama is well and truly on. You may want to say something about that as well, but we're looking forward to your engagement. Just before I open the lines, the Concerned Citizens Movement-led government has been having a series of town hall meetings, and we continue tomorrow night at St. George's, Gingerland, at the community center there in Hanley's Road. We're asking the Hanley's Road community, the Rollins community, the Zion community, the people in that area to come out, hear from the government, interact with the government. But for us, more importantly, let us hear from you. Oftentimes people say we don't want to come to your office. Well, we are coming to the communities, to you. That's what representational politics is all about. That is what representing people is all about. So we are coming to you. Please use the opportunity to come, share your concerns, share the issues that matter to you. Provide us with feedback about the programs that we have put in place, and let us know how we can better serve the people of Nevis. We have thus far had these meetings, town halls, at the Pond Hill Community Center. We have had them at the Jessop's Community Center. We've had them at the Franklin Brown Community Center, covering St. John's, St. Thomas's, and St. James. We will have a Gingerland tomorrow in the evening, starting at 7 p.m. at the Hanley's Road Community Center. And thereafter, we will have the final one in this series in St. Paul's on Sunday. And so we invite you to come out. We are coming to you, into the communities, to hear from you, and obviously to report to you as to what we are doing. See you tomorrow there, and for now we go to the phones and take calls. Let's take our first call. Good evening, you're on the mark. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Go ahead. Caller, please listen to your phone and not to the radio.
Mr. Brantley, good evening.
Yes, listen to your phone. Go ahead.
Yes. What I was saying is that in Charlestown, we wash the drain. I get the fire truck and another pickup and the fireman, and we clean the drain. But I would like the restaurant them in town must stop the plastic bag and thing go through, because we can encounter a lot when they were hosing it down. We encounter a lot of plastic bag and foil paper, and that is what I believe that clogging up there.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing, the two squares in town, Mr. Brantley, I spoke with agriculture. They went there, they cleaned it up properly, everything. I was satisfied. And you might ask why I'm doing this. It's because I want to see my country stay clean. And they went to clean it up, but them big bins there. At afternoon, you see the restaurant them gone and then dump them in the bin. Go downtown 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. You see the garbage on them all in the square. And I don't like to see it. My country is supposed to be used to be clean and everything, and now from the time I don't know who put the big bins in there, they falling down at night time. I just get up early at morning time. I just go down early to wake my restaurant yard and sort out myself. And I drive to town every morning before I go to work. Next thing, Mr. Brantley, is that all them walls was coming down from Miss Paris' place there, Johnny Howard place, come all the way down, even by the courthouse, everything, them wall they want power wash. The owners of the place and them, and if you don't, me can't talk for you, you have to talk, because you're the premier. But they need two things. I went to the health department, I spoke to the gentleman for the health department, and well, he said, yeah, look into it. But I would like to see Charleston come back like Charleston. All them place down there where the concrete, we got them thing, they want power wash. Mr. Brantley, doesn't look good. I'm not satisfied, and I'm not satisfied with them guys in the square. They eat and drink, they children them things all over the place and things. Me just go down and make noise with them. I don't like see them. And I can't do it on my own. Because when I want something, I have to go beg the fire truck. I have to beg and ask. And that is not my job, but I'm a community person. Have a good one.
Okay.
Mr. Brantley,
yes.
I have passion fruit like nothing too, and guava like nothing.
Guava?
How you mean?
I need some guava, please. You could get...
I have a guava tree down here, beer like a token. I sent the picture to you with the passion
Hello.
fruit there.
You see, the minute I say I want some, you start to talk faster.
Me no
right?
mind.
I tell you I want some guavas.
You come and pick them.
I got to come and pick them?
Me not pick them,
How-
Mr. Brantley.
how-
People beg me and me tell them go there and pick what they
How
want.
tall the tree is?
Man, I got a thing, so you just dig the thing, or you even shake the tree,
Okay.
and you get them.
And what it be, white lady, pink lady?
No, they're pink inside.
Pink, okay.
But the passion fruit and them, they thing inside. They outside, they're kind of reddish. I send the picture to you, so
No,
you
I
see
see the
them.
passion fruit. I get passion fruit from you before, but I never knew you had guava.
Oh, yeah, I got guava.
Yeah, I want
and
to make guava.
the Bajan cherry.
I want to make guava cheese. You know how to
Yes,
make
in the
that?
restaurant yard, you just go and pick them.
You know how to make guava cheese?
Me never try it.
Okay. Well, that's what I want to
Honestly,
do.
me never try it.
When I do it, I'm gonna bring some for you. Okay?
Please do.
All right.
No tell me somebody else make it, you know, and when don't say you.
You see how you're gonna know. When me come by your restaurant, me ever tell you nobody cook, somebody else cook? You see how you be? Anyway, thanks for the call and thank you for your community
All right.
efforts, yeah? I appreciate it and I think we need more people
You're
like
welcome.
you making those efforts. Thank you very much. The cleaning of the drains in Charlestown, the cleaning up of the place, this caller, I agree, caller, and I thank you wholeheartedly for your efforts. What I will say, though, is that I want to encourage our people. She mentioned that there are people who own properties in town. The government can only do so much. The people who are property owners, business people who are functioning in Charlestown also have to do their part in order to help us to get this island to where we need it and to maintain this island there. Nobody should have to come and tell you that your building need power washing or your building falling down to go and fix it. These are important things, but everybody's looking to government to do it. I mean, the way things are going in Nevis, sometimes I wonder if people are going to expect the government to come into their house and bathe them. As we say locally, wash their skin for them. Because it seems to me some are headed to a point where I'm not going to get out my bed, I'm not going to bathe unless somebody from the government come to do it for me. We really need to start to be patriotic. And every time I see people throw garbage on the street, dirty up the squares, leave their buildings in a derelict way, let their yard overrun, park up all these derelict vehicles all over the place, I said they can't love Nevis. It cannot be that they love Nevis. Because if you love a place, you take care of it. If you love Nevis, you must take care of it. You must take pride in this island. And that is what I'm encouraging our people to do. A lot of people say, oh, look how town, look the government. Yeah. But I don't know anybody in the government is throwing down garbage anywhere. Discarding plastic bottles and flinging out the garbage and dumping their microwave in the guts and the old refrigerator and old stove. People are who are doing it. And instead we try to hold each other accountable. Everybody said, the government, look how the government got the place, look. Our people must take accountability. We must be responsible. We must love our island and protect our island because this is what we have. I don't know about some, but I don't have any other passport other than St. Christopher and Nevis. And so we must see this as where we are, where we want to be, and protect it. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark.
Miss Sheriff, good evening.
How are you, my dear?
Tonight? I'm good.
I am well.
I agree with Rodney. The tongue does really look nasty. Me does walk with me stick for dogs, and sometimes me try to scrap up some of the garbage. Big bottle of sweet oil, it really looks disgraceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1 and 2. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own self, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, and unthankful and unworthy. Have a good evening. May God continue to bless you. You will have to make guava cheese now. You boil the guava, you cut it in two and you boil the guava. You scoop out the seed. And the pulp that remains, you get your strainer and you get your stick and you scrape it out until the stuff come out. Then when you done that, you get the sugar, slow fire, and keep stirring until you find that the grain is a little soft. And then you happen to grease your dish and you spread it out. You butter the dish and you spread it out. And then you leave it for a few days and you sprinkle some sugar on it. Then you cut it up. Tell Radney, go and learn that.
All right, my dear. I hear you loud and clear. We're
Right.
getting the recipe for guava cheese. Once I know I'm going by Rodney tomorrow to get my guavas, Rodney, I'll come in. And you said pick them for myself, so I come in to do that. Thank you, caller. And thank you for your scripture as always. This is On the Mark, and we're taking your calls. 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. Those are the numbers to call if you would like to be a part of the show this evening. As I'm talking about development, as I'm talking about progress, I spoke about the Mango Festival, and I would welcome views from the Mango Festival and a discussion as to how people felt about it. As I said, the reviews thus far have been excellent, but we recognize there were some hiccups that we need to address. But let's go back to the phones and continue to take calls. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark.
Good evening, Mr. Brantley. How are you?
I am well, thank you.
I trust you're keeping well.
I'm trying my best. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, wonderful.
Nola Hendrickson?
Oh, how are you? How are you?
Good.
Mhm.
I'm calling to invite the general public to a show that I'm having on Sunday, July 20th, 5 p.m. at the Nevis Performing Arts Center. But before I say that, I must say that I was very encouraged tonight the way you talk about people who are away and came back to make a contribution to their country. And your opening soliloquy was just very encouraging and inspiring, so I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming back and making a contribution as well, because I think since you've been back, theater has really been on the agenda. So I know that's not why you called to hear that from me, but I want to thank you because you have come back and are definitely making a mark.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Sure.
So this show, the last time I came on in December and let the general public know about the show, they showed up in their numbers. And this time, I want them not only to show up, but this time bring someone else with them. Now, this one is a musical comedy. And in case anyone is wondering, well, what is a musical comedy? So a musical comedy is really a combination of music, dance, and spoken dialogue or drama used to tell a very humorous story. And the story we have to tell is indeed very humorous. It is a musical reunion, like it says in the ad, that you never saw coming, and you definitely won't forget. It has sass, side eyes, all lovers meeting each other after 30 years on stage, and it makes for a really epic collision, artistically speaking, of course. What I love about this is it's not just an event. It's a celebration of culture, connection, and pure joy. You are going to laugh until you can't laugh anymore. So I'm appealing to everyone to come out. I do appreciate everyone's support. It's Sunday, July 20th, 5 p.m. at NEPAC. It's $40 for adults, $20 for children. Tickets are available at Trendy Feet, Divinity Touch, and Pemberton in Main Street, Charlestown. Or you can call Agnola Productions at 662-8577. Get your tickets now. The tickets are selling, but I want everyone to come and see what is happening in Nevis artistically, because there's so many wonderful things happening on this island, and I'm just very excited and proud to be able to make a contribution. So it's one night, one vibe, one unforgettable experience. Sunday, July 20th, 5 p.m. at NEPAC.
Thank you very much. And this is Agnola Productions again, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. And I'm sure people heard you loudly and clearly, and I'm hopeful that people will come out in their numbers to support you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're most welcome.
Okay.
All right. Good. Here is an example. Agnola, who's come back and is really making a contribution in terms of theater and using the facility there at NEPAC, which we've just recently refurbished, to bring meaningful plays and theater productions to the island of Nevis. And we continue to say that we are quite proud of the investment we've made in the creative arts, the creative economy. We have not only refurbished NEPAC, we've also built out the cultural village, built out the cultural complex, and the MJR Park is now emerging as a venue as well. All of that we have available to the people of Nevis, what I call plug and play. So once you come and you have entertainment, you want to do a show, you want to do a production, Nevis can accommodate you. And that is the reason why we have made that investment, and we now call on our creatives. Call on our creatives. Don't sit back and say nothing is happening. That's why you're called a creative. Create something. What we have done is provided the infrastructure to allow you to proceed. I've just received here on my phone a request to advertise the Culturama 51 Bar Crawl. It's happening on Saturday, July 12th. The C51 Bar Crawl sponsored by Carib from 12 noon to 7 p.m. They will be on safaris that will be taking you around. DJ Woodis will be on hand. They're asking people to wear comfortable shoes for walking, some sunscreen, and suitable clothing for hot weather. Where they're starting at the Villa Ground in Charlestown, and they're going to Pinnis Beach. They're going to the heart of Cotton Ground Village. They're going to the spot in Newcastle, Link Up Bar in Camps Village, Squeeze Up Bar in Brickhill, Esme Bar in Butler's, Big Six in Gingerland, Kaiso Bar in Coal Hill, Flavor Sauce in Church Ground. All over the place, and then the end at the Cultural Village. So this Saturday, that's the place to be. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, caller. You are on the mark.
Good night, Honorable. Good night. How are you doing?
Good night, my brother. Good to hear your voice.
Yes. I call in, I have to say, big up the lady who's concerned about the town with the garbage. You know, you have some people that feel that it's not your business, but you're concerned about where you live, you know. And a lot of people have that kind of behavior. They prefer to see the garbage on the ground and blame government. But it's all us live on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of somebody have to look out for the country. But some people have a dirty, nasty habit of feeling that it's not your concern, but it's all of us concerned that to see the place keep clean. But I call in to tell you about this and that thing, this and that. He always bring out lovely lovely, lovely song. And last year to the Calypso show, I know he was disappointed when something had a trip with the band, and that killed his whole night at the Calypso show. But I did not get to hear the first song, which I tuned in late, so I didn't get to hear his first song. But I always like to listen to his music, which I will WhatsApp him and tell him send the music to me, because he's one person, as you say, that have a lot of Calypsonians, whether they don't win or don't win, they take part because they like what they're doing. Some only just dropping it because they're looking for the money, but win, draw, lose, they have to give it to this and thing, this and that, taking part. You know, I like one of the song with about the funeral. That was either last year. That song was really good, and this song which I just heard you play, sound good, which I have to WhatsApp him and tell him forward it to me, which I could get it to the other radio station down here. You know, as Brother Matt, as I was watching on St. Kitts news and also with the minister in St. Kitts, and he showed you that he have a lot of work going on planning in St. Kitts. We hear a lot of people say things ain't going. And I watched his speech. A lot of things going on in St. Kitts. Why people like so honorable? And before I leave, I like when you're talking about the youngsters swimming. When I was up there for Culturama, I see some young guys swimming. I said, I have to tell the chief man he have to get a swimming pool and get these youngsters in practice and get them abroad. But tonight I hear you speak about it. Someone you are looking for that can build a swimming pool to have the youngsters them be a part of the Olympics. And I have to heal up a friend of mine in Tatola. Good night, Bloyd. He always a strong listener to the station. So I'm listening. So you have a pleasant night to everyone in Nevis.
Okay, my brother. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. It's a regular caller from the BVI, of course, Nivision. But it just tells you again the power of the internet, power of technology, that he can stay where he is, listen, and contribute, and we thank him for his regular calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I did say that I wanted some more information on the Mango Festival. Well, the numbers are in hot off the press. Is that the passenger movements, that is, I said to you that over 13,000 people moved between St. Kitts and Nevis for the music festival. And, of course, that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here we equally have the numbers. This is now July 3rd to 7th. July 3rd to 7th. So that is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And the numbers that have been provided by NASPA is telling us that we had 11,904 passenger movements between St. Kitts and Nevis. So it's obvious to me that Nevisians went to St. Kitts to support Music Fest. Kittitians reciprocated and came to Nevis to support the Mango Festival. Of course, those numbers may have other people doing other things, and of course those numbers reflect people who are going back and forth, so people get counted twice and three times. But nevertheless, 11,904 passenger crossings over the weekend period. That was the Mango Festival. This compares to last year, when over the same period we had 9,127 passenger movements. So 11,904 for Mango Fest 2025, 9,127 for Mango Fest 2024. Something good is happening in Nevis. Let's go back to the phones and take some more calls. Good evening, you're on the mark. Okay, caller, we've missed you. Please call back in 869-469-1616. 869-469-1700. Let's see, this call is here on the line. No, the lines are lit up. Is somebody there? Hello, good evening. No? Okay. So, just to report, as again, the numbers have just come in, that for Music Mango Festival, 2025, we had 11,904 passenger movements, and this is from Orly and Charlestown. So again, this does not include the Seabridge or iConnect. Last year, we had 9,127. So this year, we are up by almost 3,000 in terms of passenger movements. Let's go back to the phones and say good evening, you're on the mark.
Yeah, good evening to the listening public.
Good evening.
Good evening to the listening public. Good evening to you, Mr. Mark Brantley.
Yes, good evening to you.
Some months ago, we were told that the report from the World Bank for the fair share has come to the Federation. You, in your own words, have said you have received the report, and you and your cabinet is going to look into it. That was some weeks ago. So here may I ask you tonight, have you and your cabinet looked into the report as yet? And if not, why?
Caller, thank you for your call. The Cabinet is still considering it. In fact, I will tell you that today at Cabinet, we usually meet on a Wednesday, and that was an agenda item to be discussed today. Unfortunately, we had something that intervened, that interrupted us from doing that today. But that will be on the agenda for us to discuss at the next Cabinet meeting. And so, absolutely, we are looking at it, and it's a matter that will receive our fullest attention.
So, can you commit yourself to us that we will hear about the report before the month end?
I can't commit that you'll hear about it before the month end, but I can commit that you will hear about it. As I outlined repeatedly, that the effort that we're making in relation to that report, the Prime Minister shared the report with us. We will review it. The Prime Minister's technical team, he says, is also reviewing it. And then we hope that the NIA as Cabinet can meet with the federal counterparts to come to some decision in relation to that matter. So there is still some discussion to happen on it, but I can assure you and the people of Nevis that this is a matter that is receiving careful consideration, because there are long-term implications for doing this and doing it correctly. And so that is where we are currently. As I said, today we were supposed to consider it. It regrettably could not happen, but it will happen, God willing, in the very near future. We would hope to have it on the agenda as the first item for next Wednesday's Cabinet meeting. So you certainly will hear something, caller. I can't tell you that you'll hear it before the end of the month. If we can get it done by then absolutely. But you will definitely hear once we've deliberated and come to a position. Let's take some more calls. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Yes, you say that you was good evening.
Caller, I'm not hearing you properly, please.
You say you was in the yard.
Good. I'll say what?
Which yard you was in?
What yard are you talking about?
And you was with PLP. You say you was in the yard. And Douglas sprayed you like how monkey sprayed gun. When you come down Greenland, you say you're the sheriff in town. But you say you was in the yard. Which yard you was in?
It was
it was with PLP. Where the people them now?
Okay, caller. Caller, you know, there's how we speak sometimes. You know, sometimes you're ugly like sin, and somebody tell you you're pretty, because it's our culture and our colloquialism. So because I say I was in the yard, it doesn't mean I was physically in a yard. It means that I was not in the inner circle of the Cabinet. I was outside. So when I say I was outside in the yard, that's what I mean. Don't take it literally. Okay? You have to try and appreciate the cultural nuances when we speak and what we mean. So I hope that that clarifies matters for you. And so that you know, I was never with PLP. I have always been and will only be with the Concerned Citizens Movement. So just be clear. PLP got what they're going on, that is their business. That have nothing to do with me. I am the Concerned Citizens Movement. We blue and true. Okay? So just don't get that confused. Let's go back to the phones and take some calls. Callers, please call back in. 869-469-1616 or 1700. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be a part of the show this evening. And a lot is happening. The numbers are looking great for travel between the islands. I posted that 13,792 passengers moved back and forth for the St. Kitts Music Festival. And tonight we're so happy to learn that 11,904 passengers moved back and forth between St. Kitts and Nevis for Mango Fest 2025. That compares to 9,127 passengers that went back and forth for Mango Fest 2024. So nearly 3,000 more people moved between the two islands for that period. That's the economic impact, ladies and gentlemen, that happens from these types of activities. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark. Hello? Caller, are you there? Caller, good evening, you're on the mark. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm not hearing that caller. We're seeing the phone lighting up, but we're not hearing you. Caller, please, if you can hang up and try again. 869-469-1616 and 1700. As we go inside the numbers of travel for the Mango Festival 2025, I think it's instructive to know that from Charlestown, you had 2,238 arrivals and 1,947 departures. And at Orly, you had 3,853 arrivals and 3,866 departures. That's important because what we keep seeing is our new facility at Orly outstripping Charlestown in terms of numbers of people moving. We'll get back to that. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Mr. Brantley?
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
I forgot to tell you, this evening video show, if you can put back on the doctor, that thing that you had on with the doctor. A lot of people talking about it, but a lot of people still didn't hear, and I think most people that I talked to, they said they learned a lot from it. Remember the other day you had on the doctor?
The pulmonologist.
Yes.
Yes.
I think you need to do a replay on it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that. We'll have to look and see what's possible, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I appreciate that. And caller, I'm happy that you mentioned that because, again, we are, as government, doing quite a few things which I don't think the Nivision public is paying attention to. And having Dr. George, a pulmonologist here, it's an expertise that does not exist in Nevis. So through Ursula Phillip, she organized for Dr. George to come, and he has come, and he came on the show, and we had a good discussion. You know, when I realized the impact that show had, I was taking a morning walk, and I ran into a friend of mine from Brownhill, and he said, boy, all my life, when me hear a man a snore, me said a man a sleep hard. And is on your show, I learned that when you're snoring is bad for you. Many of us, including me, because culturally, you know, when you're snoring, people say, boy, in a deep sleep, look how hard you snore.
Otherwise, the person was tired.
But that is a time, according to the doctor, that your body is struggling for oxygen. And
I drove up there.
Yes, go ahead.
By the hospital, and the amount of people were up there.
Yes.
You understand? So I said, I don't know if you people don't listen. Wasn't listening. Because some people ask me, what do you want to hear when I listen? I said, what do you mean? Me don't miss that. And then, you know what I mean? So then if you could, whenever you see it fit, bring it back on again. Because maybe some people who wasn't listening have one of the problems that you were talking about. Okay. You never know.
All right. Well, I'm told he saw about 80 patients while he was here.
Because I drove up there and Mr. said me, monkeys, a lot of people up there for sure.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. And the beautiful thing is it was free. Free. So I want to go on record. I want to thank the Honorable Janelle Nisbet, our young Minister of Health, and her team, because they would have coordinated. I want to thank Ursula Phillip, and of course I want to thank Dr. George and his team. And I am told that they are already making arrangements to come back to offer a free service, FREE, to the people of Nevis. When people attack health care and they say all manner of evil, these are success stories of partnerships to provide specialities to the people of Nevis that we don't have on the island. A lot of effort, money is being spent for those partnerships, but at the end of the day, the people that matter most are the patients that went there to see Dr. George about various issues, sleep apnea, various breathing problems. That's what we're seeking to do, making the lives of people better. That's the only job government has. Make the lives of people better. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark.
Miss Sharif, you know, realize Rodney na balo in now. He come like Elton went up the Robbie Foot. Because of that, listen, she just something.
Listen,
about.
you need to call Rodney directly and talk to Rodney about she knee. Because since last week you talked about Rodney knee. Right?
You know, ball, it shut all now, it and say put on photo. So
Okay.
it got to be Elton went go Robbie Foot.
All right, I hear you.
Glad for her.
I hear you. Right? You and Rodney going to take up that with each other. All right. Okay, caller. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to On the Mark. Our numbers are 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. Let's go straight back to the telephones. Good evening, you're On the Mark. Hello?
Brantley, good night.
Good night to you. How are you doing?
Not bad, not bad.
Okay.
You crack me up. You crack me up my now your liberation tonight. Anyway, me follow up from the lady there. The program, me repeat because graduation me come over. With Dr. George.
Yes, okay.
Right, and couple people me line up to listen to him. So, and just to come back on, he needs to make one announcement when he go come back on that people can get gear up for him. So, on the matter of just put him back on just like that and then nobody hear him again. So, you make one, the manager can get together and then you will say, okay, well, maybe next week, instead of this repeat, that I go repeat. So, people will know that they can listen. You understand me, say?
I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. That's a one. Two, you make me laugh tonight. You say, when the opposition not got no percent make up things.
Happen all the time.
You can't tell me, you can't give me one or two things that you know do and then just make come up on you.
Well, one morning I'm in my office, one that come right to mind. I was in my office and I see something come on my computer say that the Ivor Walters Primary School shut down because of a cockroach infestation. And the biggest cockroach I've ever seen in my life is what the man put on Facebook. The man call it a German cockroach. So that ain't no ordinary division cockroach. It's Germany the cockroach come from.
Yeah.
And so me call the school, cause me frightened. Me say, how things get so bad that the school shut down and me don't know. The teacher tell me, what are you talking about? Nothing goes so. The children are here eating their lunch and turn out not a thing go so.
Yeah, but you say the man of the opposition.
Well, who you think me talk about? You ask me a question, I try to answer you. Then the next one, them had big story. Say we sell the airport. Me sure you hear that too.
No.
You never hear that one?
No.
Man, all kind of thing them say. You say you want two, I sure I could give you 100 if I think about it. So when them not have no news, they just make it up. You know, they say something. That's all.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Me go. You crack me up, so me go come back.
All right. No problem.
Okay,
As I look inside the numbers for the Mango Fest, I go back to them because the Sunday travel, that is just on the Sunday. So Sunday 7th July 2024, 2,451 people went back and forth. And on Sunday, 6 July 2025, 4,083 people went back and forth between St. Kitts and Nevis. Those numbers are phenomenal. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark.
Hello, good evening, good evening.
Good evening to you.
I say, Malcolm, come on tonight with it just high up on us. He come on with it just high up because the mango better he was sell off. Sell off. Lord, what the days my friend and about when they come on with tomorrow night, you know. If not much people, what do you?
Yes.
You know, they got to find something else, so that's how politics go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the snoring thing, I never even know. Because since I'm a young lady, I snoring, so it's that come from something from your head part, no? Your head.
What you say?
The snoring.
Yeah, they say the snoring is when your ear passages are blocked. That's why you snore.
Yeah.
So the doctor was saying that when you're snoring, it's a sign that your body is not getting enough oxygen. So it's a bad thing. You hear me? Caller? Hello? It looks like we lost the caller. Caller, I'm sorry about that. Please call back in. I just explained. Oh, you're there? Hello?
Still on the air.
Oh, well, I wasn't hearing you. You weren't answering, so.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm glad for the information. I listening to a little more because I didn't even know you was up there. I really want a treatment like that for you. And I noticed right now, I went to the doctor already down here in October last, and he told me, well, I need something in my nostril, need to cut. And now, you know, my snoring terrible because I had a sister here from the state, and she just told me I was snoring so hard and like a gasping for breath. That she had to come and tap me. You know, like that sometimes that's so could die in your sleep.
Yes.
Like that, you're really, you know, in breathing properly. So I think, well, and what I noticed too, when I fed them here, I don't feel a little pain in them. So it got to be something, you know, between both of them.
So it's a pity that you didn't call last week because he was here with me. But I will tell you that they plan to come back. So what I think needs to happen is when they come back, if you can come over and see them, because it is very important. They have this thing they call sleep apnea, and he was making the point that when you're snoring, sometimes your breath stops, and like you say, you can die. Yes.
You're not like my sister told me she got to come out and, you know, pat me because I was in the chair. And if I was, you know, like, you don't know you're in your breath, I mean, you're in your sleep, you don't even know this thing happening to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The other point he made is that he says because you're not getting enough oxygen, it also affects your heart, has to work harder. Right? And it can cause heart problem, it can cause stroke. I mean, I was very, very, very impressed with the knowledge that he imparted because, as I say, sometimes locally when a man's snoring hard, you say he's sleeping deep.
I used to hear that too.
Yeah, but the man is saying, no. When you're snoring, it's because your body gasping for breath. Your body need oxygen. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
So when will you return?
I will announce that when I have the information. But he's due to come back.
Check him out. Instead of go back to this doctor, maybe around down here. The specialist, I need to check him up. I need something like that.
Okay. All right.
It's terrible for me.
Okay. Well, stay in touch, please. And what he did say, that sometimes he said the worst is when you sleep on your back. So he said that if you sleep on your side or on your stomach, it would be a little easier. So maybe that might be a little ease for you. And then he also said that it's people who have too much weight. It affects them. So people who can lose a bit of weight as well, it helps.
Yeah.
Okay?
Where the pain come from in your knee when you have knee pain?
Well, Lord, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's arthritis, I don't know.
Oh, because, you know, one time you go and sit down, you know, speaking with a friend, few people, and then when you look, you're fighting to get back up.
Yeah.
I notice that happening to me, you know,
right.
these
days. Well, God willing, when he comes back, I recommend that you see him, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, my dear.
If people ready, The mango pet sell off. My friend told me she went Janet from up burn past them, and she get the thing can done. But I didn't really have the tea. I went to the beach and forget me.
Okay.
I didn't really have the tea. I never come to one yet. But next time I probably will come to one.
All right. Okay then.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless. Okay.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, all right. We have 15 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen, and we're taking your calls at 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. Let's go straight back to the phones and say good evening. You're on the mark.
Yeah, Mr. Mark Brantley.
Yes, good evening.
The NIA, with your blessing, I've given the two building there up in the Alexander Hospital yard the plan to ban Tuja. Did it so?
What are you talking about? What building a hospital yard? I'm
the
not
two in
understanding.
the hospital yard, Mark, because you know me talk about
The what
two
you
wing.
say?
Yeah.
What you
So
say?
did you give the NIA and you, with your blessing, give them two buildings the plan to ban Tuja?
If you're talking about the hospital wing,
yes,
that was done. The initial plans were in fact done by Brands Architecture. Yes.
So let me ask you this: did the NIA and you had sure that ban could do the plan? I had believed that ban could do the plan.
Well, I believe you're a mechanic. I'm not sure that you could solve my problem, but you say you're a mechanic, so I come to you to solve the problem with my car.
So then you pay me to solve the problem, right? I may solve the problem. So I give you back the money that you pay me.
Oh, that's what you would do? You give back the money?
Right.
You never give back anybody any money yet. So hush your
But you
mouth.
know that.
And stop
You
tell
know
lie.
that.
Stop tell lie on radio.
Know that.
You hear what I tell you? Stop tell lie on radio.
Are we going to give back the money?
Right? Because you never give back nobody the money yet.
Mr. Mark, I can't hear you.
If you say that you are a mechanic and people come to you with a car and you cannot solve the problem, I am telling you with no water in my mouth, you never give back nobody the money. So hush your mouth with that and stop tell lie on radio. Minister Brand Architectural Firm, in fact I believe that was before Mr. Brand was any minister, was contracted to do something. They produced some plans. The building is up there if you want to go up and look at it. We have said that the internal configuration of the building, we hired a firm to look at that for us. The firm has produced its report on that. Then after COVID intervened, we discontinued the construction and we have not yet restarted it because we had a number of different issues, including some financing issues that we had to resolve. We have reported every step of the way. Why you're calling in now to talk about brand and get back money? When you try to do people care, then you can't solve the problem. You don't give people back money? I tell you already, I warn you already, stop letting people use you. When them give you a question on paper, tell them call in and ask them one question. Me know you better than that and you should have more sense than that. So I hope you're going to take my advice. There was a time when you used to take my advice. Then you straight away you start to listen to other people. Come back home, take good advice, and stop calling radio and chat choppiness. It's very important. Mr. Brand was not in any cabinet or any government when his architectural firm was given a job. He's on a vision. He was given an opportunity to design a building. Well, what is wrong with that? I believe he had a business license. He paid his taxes. What is wrong with that? So if you get a job tomorrow to do something for government, people should vex with you? We must stop it and stop the foolishness. The project is a project that's important to all of us. God forbid you get sick tomorrow, where you going to end up? The same place me going to end up. The same place listeners going to end up. Right up there at Alexandria Hospital. Let us stop done with the foolish politics. It doesn't make no sense. And since you've gone over there, you're not accustomed to lose. Since you've gone over there, you lose every time. And come back to the winning side and done with the foolishness. And stop letting people give you paper to read off. Let's go back to the phones. We have 10 minutes left in the show, and this is On the Mark. Good evening. You're on the air.
Boy, whether he been in a government, yes or not, did we get with money what? Why the inside of the building break down? Why inside of the building leak out, Mr. Mark? Whether You talking about he not been in government. We not call you to tell you about he been in government. He building up there inside liquor. So tell us why.
All right, caller, that is not true, and I tell you already, no call in here and tell no lie. The inside of what building leak out, as you say? No work has been done on the building since we closed off the job in 2020. So what leak out about the building? I mean, done with the foolishness. That's why I'm trying to encourage you. I mean, there was a time when you're calling on the radio, you brought substance. You got some people in your head now that tell you all kind of dunceness. Bad people are not dunce people, and bad people are some of the brightest people. So when you got people that make you turn you into dunce, don't say those things because they're not true. And I'm trying to encourage you, trying to get you to, function at the level that I know you can function at. Stop let people got just chulo. You understand? That is not you. Do better. Let's go back to the phones. 8 minutes left. Good evening, caller. You're on the mark.
Hey, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
A few things there. First of all, in light of all the challenges that we face as a Caribbean, as a nation, the imperative that we must unite as a people and divide, and end this divide and rule politics and divide and rule thing. I'm calling on all the political leaders of all political parties that now it's time to sit down and try and work out the government and national unity. We see the ferocity of the youth and what they're doing and what they could be doing in the future in threatening our livelihood. This is not time for not pull apart and not tear down. I've spoken to you about that, and I spoke to Joe right now collectively, and Natasha, and for them on NRP. The time for this divide and rule is to finish. It is for time for us to unite, to face the challenges. Because if tomorrow America said that we cannot go to America, NRP going to be abusing you, and Tom going to be abusing labor. What to the people? We have to collectively face these challenges, not individually. And as long as we continue this party politics, we ain't going nowhere. As you can see, one man pulling down. The crab in the barrel mentality has not gone anywhere. Where we going with this? Which one of the political parties think is strong enough to face Donald Trump and stand up for the right of people if we don't do it collectively? Which one? The divide and rule is not helping us.
So you think if all the parties stand together, they can face Donald Trump? That's what you're saying?
Of course,
How?
it's the best way
How?
to face him.
How?
Rather than,
How?
Because we put in a united front.
And you think a united front from an island, a country our size, can face Donald Trump?
We put a united front, will come and OECS to do the same.
Oh, I see.
So we could speak with one voice.
Okay, so you're going beyond Singles Davis now to OECS and CARICOM.
You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. You have to start locally. And then we go regionally. And then we could go internationally.
Got you. I understand you better now, caller. Hello? Caller? Okay, not sure. For an earlier caller who was asking about when Dr. George will return, I just got a message to say that they are looking at August 27th to September 1st, if, of course, they can get things in place. And so that is the time that they expect to be back. So, Madam Caller from St. Kitts, August 27th to September 1st. So that is the time they hope that they will be back. So I'm just letting you know that. And then some other person just said to me that they were able to get a CT scan and a spirometer test, and that because of the Dr. George being here and this partnership that we have, she said she now has a nebulizer, and he told her that she would have to buy an oxygen concentrator. She says, I'm so glad he came and it was free. That is somebody who actually saw Dr. George. So this is testimony. This is what we're talking about, our people, real people, benefiting from policies that the government has put in place. Thank you again, Dr. George and the entire team. And thank you, Ursula, for making it happen. And thank you, Minister Janelle Nisbet, for being the partner and the focal point, you and your team, because this is assisting real people. See, I just read what the lady just sent me. She was a patient, and she said that is what she benefited from. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Yes, Mr. Brantley. So the time gone, so let me big up Scarborough. This and that. Me follow you for a long time. Me left it because me gone on the other side now. Me look to see if me can get to heaven. So me know the message is a very good message. And me hope everybody that hear this song tonight would really take on the message, because the wickedness in our payoff, you only just bad for everybody, and we just hope that people will just, you know, they have to get their heart to God anyway, but then we just stop all them, them killing, them, so forth and so on. Then we look forward for King Jesus. This Scarborough, big up yourself and you can send the song to find somebody that's there, because the song that you make with Google give them the degree that they play nearly every day, as long as on DJ named JGP at work. So you can send up the one, because this one has a very, very, very good message. Okay, then, Premier Brantley.
Okay, thank you for your call, brother. And
Good. Okay.
I commend you. You say you're trying your best to get to heaven. All of us should try. So thank you very much for that. And certainly I appreciate very much that you are one of the people who participates in the show on a weekly basis. In fact, I appreciate all the callers who call in from time to time. Gentle reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that tomorrow evening at the Community Center in Hanley's Road, we have another in the edition of town hall meetings by the Concerned Citizens Movement-led Nevis Island Administration. We expect you to come out. This is an opportunity for the government to report to you, and also an opportunity for you in the community to bring your concerns and questions. We're bringing the government to you. We're coming into the communities. I pointed out at the recent town hall that there is no election in the air. And I think that that's important for me to say, because a lot of people say, oh, you're only doing something because you're campaigning. No. We are coming into the community, and this is only the first round. We will be coming back after Culturama to do a second round and a third round and a fourth round, because what we're realizing is that a lot of what the government is doing, our people are saying they don't know, they haven't heard. We're on radio, we're on social media, we're on TV, but still people are saying they don't hear and they don't know. So we are coming to you. When you hear that these meetings are happening, we beg you, please, come out and be there. Hear for yourself. Sometimes people tell you that this is what they hear, this is what they understand. No. Hear for yourself, because we're coming to you. So for those in the Hanley's Road community, those in Rollins, those in Pond Hill, those in Zetlands, those who are there in Hickmans and Zion and all the surrounding areas, we are asking you to come out and be a part of that meeting, which is happening tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. at the community center right there in Hanley's Road. You're going to be hearing from the area representative, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, but you also will be hearing from other members of the government as we explain to you what we're doing. But as I said, more importantly, as we hear from you and we get your feedback as to what you would like to see happen, whether things are going well or not so well, what the issues might be in the community and the wider island of Nevis. So we invite you to come out and be a part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hear the band striking up, and when that happens, it means we have to go. I want to thank all who called, all who were part of the show this evening. I want to tell you that I appreciate very much your calls, that I appreciate the dialogue and the opportunity to discuss. I thank this and that, the King, for sharing his second competition piece with me this evening and with you this evening using this platform. This show is rebroadcast tomorrow at 1 o'clock right here on the Eastern Caribbean's only powerhouse, VON Radio, 860 on your AM dial, or you check us out on Facebook or YouTube or www.vonradio.com. That's our show for tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night. God bless you. Have a wonderful sleep. And remember, if you're snoring, it means you have problems. it means that your body's not getting enough oxygen. So sleep on your side, sleep on your belly, because when you sleep on your back, you tend to snore most. And above all, try to lose some weight, try to get some exercise, and lead a healthier lifestyle. Thank you, good night, and God bless you.
The views and opinions expressed on the preceding program were solely those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Nevis Broadcasting Company Limited or